So my name's Marie and I live and work in the outer western suburbs of Sydney. I'm a social and community services worker and I'm therefore undervalued and underpaid. I'm small change. I'm tertiary qualified a few times over. I have 25 years experience in the community services sector, have worked in grassroots community development and management positions, developing services, managing organisations, teams and budgets with high levels of accountability and responsibility. I calculated that in my 25 years of community services work, I've been underpaid between $20,000 to $40,000 per year. That adds up to $750,000. Add to that the loss of superannuation and you have a huge wage injustice, and I'm just one of 200,000 women working in my industry. That's why we need big changes right now. I'm so very proud to be part of the current equal pay test case before Fair Work Australia as one of the equal pay ambassadors. What an honour to represent women in my industry. What an honour to have an opportunity to make a difference to the lives of those women. I'm so proud that I came into this community services industry as a feminist to bring a social justice voice to so many of the things that affected the lives of women then and unfortunately still do today. I'm so very proud to have worked alongside so many professional women who believe in a just and equitable society that have given their skills and abilities to change the lives of individuals, families and communities in whatever their circumstance. I'm so very proud to have been a union member all these years and have believed that wage justice for social and community services workers will be won. I'm so very proud to be a member of the ASU, who are so instrumental in bringing this historic equal pay wage case. You know, it's been a struggle all these years to throw off the shackles of being seen nothing as a charity worker, being called do-gooders, or being seen as nice, caring ladies, doing nice things for poor people voluntarily. So it's therefore heartening to be seen and known as an industry, and to be now seen as professionals, doing professional work in a fundamental, necessary facet of a civil, democratic society. We aren't an add-on to society, we aren't a luxury. We are a fundamental necessity because we create a sense of community. We are the glue that keeps people together. We are the toughies doing the tough work out in the suburbs. On the one hand, holding people responsible for their actions, but on the other, keeping a sense of justice and advocacy for the systems that society creates that keep certain people on the outer and excluded. I feel so damn angry that there are groups and organisations who are actively resisting this long overdue wage justice, using their influence in the courts to keep us from our wage rights. Saying we don't deserve it, saying they can't afford it. And you know what? These people are being paid big bucks for doing that. How dare they stand in our way? So we're here to demand that we be paid for the professionals that we are. We're here to march the streets and to make sure this injustice stops right now for social and community service workers, and that our win will be a win for so many other women who are also being disregarded because of the nature of their work, because they are women. So we're here to say, pay up, no more lip service. And we're looking for big changes right now. Happy International Women's Day.
Thanks, Marie. There's no greater symbol of the pay inequity in this country than the disgraceful wages hoarding. Skills like building resilience. We're people who look after people who have nothing, people who find themselves homeless, people who are victims of domestic violence, people with disabilities. We are, as Marie said, the glue that keeps society together. These skills are just as important as fixing a car or building a fence. And it's about time those skills recognised and valued. That's part of the reason why there's still an 18% pay gap between men and women's wages in Australia. Whilst we won equal pay for equal work some time ago, that pay gap has actually got worse over the last 5 years. And that's because we need a fundamental change in the way we value the skills in feminised industry like social and community services. So our case is all about proving that our industry has been undervalued because it's been seen as women's work. Somehow these skills are innate to us as women. We're born with them, so why should we be paid for them? We say that's ridiculous and outrageous, and unless we change that, we're not going to bridge the gap, and that's what our case aims to do. Now we're up against some pretty formidable forces, employers that are standing up there and saying that there should be no change. No change to the law, no change to equal pay outcomes. For the last 16 years there's been cases, equal pay cases, and they've all failed. We're using the new Fair Work Act that says that you can get equal pay if you've got equal skills for comparable industries. So that is what we're arguing. And those employers, they're cashed up. They're representing the big end of town. And do you know what they say to us? They say, you guys, whilst you might be quite worthy, and yeah, okay, we admit you're paid pretty badly, the ASU and community workers are secretly the vanguard. You're secretly trying to get equal pay for community workers, so we'll flow on to childcare workers, to aged care workers, to textile workers, to retail workers. Too right, we're the vanguard. We're absolutely the vanguard. All right, it's going to be up to us to fight for equal pay because we are going to get a decision sometime this year. And it's going to go one way or the other. Let's say we lose. Let's say the court's convinced by the employers. Let's say they say there'll be no change to the law and your wages can stay the pitiful levels they're at now. What are we going to do? We're going to demand a change to the law. We're going to march on Canberra and we're going to demand the law should be changed so all women can get equal pay. And in the community sector, we've run out of patience. We're not waiting for the law to change. Governments now could give us equal pay if they wanted to. All they have to do is increase their funding so our employers can pay us decently. We won't be waiting. We'll be demanding equal pay now. Equal pay case one or not, we demand equal pay. Secondly, what happens if we win? For us, the fight's not over. We then have to fight our state government for the funding for equal pay. And let's face it, it's going to be Barry O'Farrell. And this will be his first big challenge. Does he support equal pay or does he not support equal pay? Because I can tell you, if he stands in our way, he will face an uprising of women in Sydney, an uprising of women in Lismore, and you don't want to take them on. An uprising in the Blue Mountains, in the Illawarra, in Dubbo, in Walgett, all across New South Wales. We will fight, we will march on him, and we will demand that he supports equal pay. So I encourage everyone to get their photo taken and hang it up there because that's quite a soft thing we're doing, but that's just a warm-up, just a warm-up. And Barry O'Farrell better be ready because there's no way in the world that this generation, this union, these community workers are going to say if we win or if we lose, oh well, we tried our hardest, we'll walk away and let our daughters and our granddaughters fight. No way we're going to do that. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity and we're going to fight until we win.
I was just waiting for Kurt to make a huge announcement. That was it. The crowd's just so spectacular! Alright, hello everybody, my name's Candy B. I'm going to be your host today. Alright, International Women's Day. IWD, I'm into those. IWD, you down with that? Alright, so we're going to get to know each other a little bit throughout the day, but it is my great pleasure to actually introduce first up Lena Cabero.
Good afternoon, everybody. I also have with me one of our community workers in Asian Women at Work, Mua Chen. Let's give her a big hand. From migrant women workers sewing garments at home, packing chickens in factories, painting nails and waxing eyebrows in beauty shops, serving food or working in kitchens in restaurants, spreading beds and cleaning hotel rooms, working in retail shops, childcare centers, aged care facilities, and in other precarious jobs. We bring you greetings of sisterhood, solidarity, and collective action on the 100th year of celebrating International Women's Day. We in Asian Women at Work are very honored to be amongst the strong, the feisty, assertive, articulate, and beautiful women of Sydney.
We also acknowledge the Gadigal people, the traditional custodians of this land. We pay respect to the elders, both past and present, especially to our Aboriginal sisters of the Eora Nation who nurtured and cared for this land.
We also extend solidarity to the Japanese people, especially the victims and families of the recent earthquake and tsunami. This year's theme, Equal Pay, Big Changes, Not Small Change, resonates well with us, a community organization with over 1,700 members, assisting over 2,000 Asian migrant women workers every year, operating on a tiny budget, and with just a team of 4 dedicated and very overworked community workers who share work around. We add our voice and our strength to the campaign and demand for equal pay for community workers. For by winning this fight, other underpaid and undervalued female-dominated jobs, where a significant number of migrant women workers can be found, can similarly succeed. And so we say, equal pay now! 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 In winter, the workers are always cold. In summer, they're always hot. So they easily get sick in this environment.
You can't complain because when you complain to your boss, the boss says, if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. Always the boss or supervisor pushes them to work hard over their limit. They shout at them, and because they are scared to lose their job, and they just put their head down and work. In some workplaces, they can't talk to each other. They can't pass any passage to each other.
And when they go to the toilet, if they take a little longer, the boss shouts at them or even comes to the toilet and knocks on the door. In some workplaces, you have to make up for the time you go to the toilet by working a little bit longer.
And our workers solving very expensive labels may get paid between $3 to $10 per garment. That retail anywhere between $200 to thousands of dollars. She does not get holiday pay or sick pay or superannuation. This low pay is not just a clothing industry problem. In packaging, recycling, and other industries also tell us they are paid only $10 per an hour or $8 an hour. Many women work in restaurants. They also have very low pay, less than $10 an hour. The fact that this sort of exploitation is taking place right here, right now in Australia is appalling and needs to be addressed effectively.
Migrant women workers are fighters. They have the ability to stand up for their rights and contribute more significantly to Australian society if they have access to information, resources, relationships, and confidence in themselves. Armed with this, they can do anything. Asian Women at Work we make it possible for migrant women workers to find their voice, to speak out, to reclaim power as a woman, and have fun on the side.
Those directly involved have had their lives changed. And even though on the strangers who have heard the story have more powerful than ever before. However, the fact remains that on the 100th year of International Women's Day, work remains precarious for migrant women workers.
We cannot let migrant workers suffer for another 100 years. We want migrant women workers to be treated with respect, not as people of less value. We want the government and the unions to work with us to fix up workplace problems, especially making bosses follow the law. We want unions. We want unions to be able to visit workplaces without notice, so bosses cannot use the notice period to hide problems, fabricate information about wages and conditions. It will also be great if there are more women organizers in the unions. We want better wages, better working conditions, and equal rights for migrant women workers. And now is the time for things to change.
Thank you, Sydney International Women's Day Collective, for including the voice of migrant women workers in the historical celebration of International Women's Day.
Long live women's solidarity! Long live International Women's Day! Equal pay now! Equal pay now! Equal pay now!
100 years of solidarity, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful, wonderful time, and I hope that this year the energy and the feeling of this infiltrates into everybody's lives. It's a really special performance today, a mix of such diverse women, wonderful to see, Australian women, women that have come from all over the world. I just wanted to also pay my respect to the traditional owners. I know it was said earlier, but I like to do it a little bit differently. So when I say to the traditional owners of the land, I say much respect. Everybody says much respect back to me. Let's try that. To the traditional owners of the land, I say much respect. I say much respect. I say much respect. To Indigenous people here today, we say thank you.
But a slow dream that you feel seems to hide deep inside your mind. Come on, everyone. All alone, I have cried silent tears.